Hello, this is Divine Sunshine. Well, I tried to do my workshop and the whole technical difficulties and retrograde hit in, and so I heard Spirit say, you know what, just go ahead and go on live and do it, and then just let it take off from there as far as who will need this workshop. So baby, I will do it for free. I refunded everybody their money back. And this went on because of what was going on with Zoom. So I'm gonna let the universe go ahead and supply me with my time of some kind of way. I guess it does not want me to. Hi, I'm sideways. It does not want me to go ahead and do this that way. It wants me. The universe says no. Give that information out to everyone else. So I hope you enjoy your 4th of July. I hope you can be able to see the screen. So I'm doing this PowerPoint because we know that in order for us to be able to lead in our twin flame journeys, that we have to make sure that we are in the driver's seat as far as what we're doing. And so now, so what I have done was like a PowerPoint presentation, and I probably will be doing this for each one of them. I'm still going to follow the template that I had and had been designed, but then I'll just be able to kind of do it at my own time as well. So what I have is to lead is to be divine. I just kind of want to go over type. This is and I'll put it in the link below. What type of leader are you? There's a wonderful quiz that's done by Leader Circle program in which let me make sure I say that right. The Leader Circle is a self-assessment that you can do. It's about maybe 100 questions. And doing that, it helps you to get very specific as to the different areas in which you need to be familiarized and becoming an effective leader. Some ways of doing that is usually goes into your area like your creativity, how creative you are as a leader, your relationships. If you can see it, I don't know if you can. It's kind of doing it interest because it's white. Is creative leadership, leadership effectiveness, the task, and the reactiveness that you can have. Let me see if I can put it. If I put it a little closer with you all, no, it's still not. As far as back, it's not gonna help it either. Okay, those are the areas. So when it's darker, you can see that that's a learning point there too. Let me see, edit in browser. Let's see if I can turn it around, get some key ideas. Let's see if I can make it darker. Okay, you see if everything's darker. Yeah, okay. That's what it's gonna have to be. But I wish you could pick another color. How about purple? How about this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's called on the fly changing. Why you not white? You see that? Yeah, why you ain't black and white though? Let's change you. Okay. Yeah, I'm changing as we on the screen. Okay, so we can see everything. Okay, the same thing. This you gotta be darker too. Okay, all right, it's changing as we go along. Okay, good. All right, so let's go back to view again since you can't see. Play from the beginning. Okay. All right, so we have to do this back over again. Oh, I can't even see that. But anyway, to lead to the, they should have went back the same way it was before. Yeah, for that side, that can go back. But it's pretty that way. But I can't see the why. I can't see the word in here. Now you're gonna see me kind of change. Hold on a second, cause I want that to pop. Let's change that to white. How about that? Can we see it now? Yup, we can see it now. Okay, all right then. So now I might have to edit it as we go along back and forth. Let's go back to Zoom view. Play from the beginning. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now, so the lead is the divine. This is a very good website that's on here. Hi, I see people came on and came off. This is a very good website that we have here as well to help you to know about your self assessments, like I was saying before, because it goes into the different variants of areas such as your creativity, your relationship, your leadership, your effectiveness, your tasks, and your reactive. Those things are very important as far as when we're talking about in leadership, as far as you even also into your relationships. How creative are you in your relationships? How in relationships in general, how do you fare well as a person doing that? Your leadership, your effectiveness. How effective are you in the role of being the one who's large and in charge? Your task, when somebody gives you something to do, how well are you able to do that as well? And how reactive you are to certain things as well. Who is this on here? I can't see. And I can't on here at the same time either. Top chat. Okay, live chat. Okay. Okay. Hi, Lori. So yeah. So those are the things that you have that's very important. Okay. Let me escape out of this. Let me show you very quickly how this looks. So when you go on this website that's called the Leadership Circle, on here you may can see it. This has good graphs. It has like a graph that it shows you. I'm gonna show you the graph. Now on this graph here, why I like this and I get excited about this is because it tells you in each quadrant is broken up into 4 parts where you are high end and where you're low end. So like this is your creative task right here, area here. So I'm kind of low on the courageous authenticity side. Maybe I'm kind of shy in being able to kind of go ahead and create something of my own. Community concerns, as far as that, doing things as far as tasks, that's high there. But I'm just going to pinpoint the low parts, like you were saying, like systematic thinker, things of how everything all connects systematically. I'm kind of low on that one. We got like decisiveness, that part there on task, a little low, but not too bad. I can't get too upset about that. Now, when I go into the quadrant, I'm thinking I got my touch screen. This is not touch screen. This is the reactiveness. So, like when it's to task, and I have to react to the different tasks there. The things I'm low is, they say arrogance. Well, that's kind of good. At least I'm not arrogant on doing things like I'm doing it my way or the highway as well. But then also, we have here, it's low there, but then we have in the reactive here for relationships. We have passive, which is low, and we have relationships, which is low, and selflessness in relationship is a leader is low, and then composure also is low. So when you're able to see, I know you can't see it too much on the screen, but when you're able to see it on your own, let me go back to this one, which shows you the kind of results of how it kind of looks. It's like a regular circle, and it has different quadrants that shows you of differences. Now, when we're talking about, I gotta change that because you can't see that. Change it to this one. Okay, so when we're talking about in relationships, comparison, why I wanted to do this and find out, because we're always talking about that in relationships, the divine feminine is the leader. It's like you got to have your leadership skills down pat. And so what I did was I tried to see a comparison as to the two of them to see what is the differences between the effective relationship and in their leadership. So when we have that, we have in relationships, we have you have to be completely honest. Well, in leadership, you have to have practice honesty and integrity. In relationships, you got to have open communication. Well, in leadership, you have to have good communicate. You have to be a good communicator. In relationships, you have to meeting each other's halfway. Well, in leadership, you have to have empathy. And then in relationships, working through the rough patches. Well, in leadership, you have to have accountability. And in relationship, you always have to be open to trying new things. That's the effectiveness. And then in leadership, you have to have be creative and innovative. So when we're talking about on this journey, although you can't see it, some things that you have to remember in order to transform yourself from drama, from the drama in our unions, and then shifting things for our twins. Escape. Let's go on to this one because you can't see it. The wording is too small. Let's do it this way. That's how I had to go back and forth between the two things. So why is leading so important on this journey? Because we keep on saying you have to be the leaders. You got to be the leaders. And so why it's important about that is because the first steps in transforming the drama in our union and shifting things from our twin is that we got to release that from that victim consciousness about what things that they have done or what things have been done to us in our childhood. And so through that, we take back our power. We also have to disconnect from disempowering from reactions for things that have happened too, like anger, hurt, what they did, what they put us through, how it's affecting us as well. And then we also have to allow ourselves to be clear channels of divine healing and light and love for everyone, for ourselves, for our divine counterparts, our divine equivalents, and then also for the world. Because that's our purpose as being light workers. That's what we're here to do. Okay, so we have to remember at all times that we are powerful beings, and that's why it's important that we understand that we have to lead. Now, the first steps to union, can't see that. I got to go back and forth between that one. Okay, that's fine, that's bigger. So, who is truly, we have to remember, in order for us to create union, we have to remember who is actually standing at our sides is a person who is using our counterpart that's mirroring back the good, the bad and the ugly. Not pretty much the good, but we got some bad and some ugly too that they're reflected back to us. So what they're doing at that time is they're showing us the hurt. They're showing us the overflow of pain that we have to deal with, some baggage that we have accumulated over the years, and the collections of illusions and programming that we have, either society has put on us, maybe our family members or parents, the way we were raised was put on us. Also, when you look at mass media, social media, they put those things on us. And also as far as what programs we put in for maybe past lives as well. Okay, let me see which one is better so you can see this one. Okay, so in effective leadership, it begins with what? Ourselves. So we got to remember again, as a man thinks, so he becomes. In order for real change to happen, and a transformation of the heart, it has to begin in the heart. And that's where the core of who you resides. And I took that from Ken Blanchard, Billy Hybels, and Phil Hodges' of Leadership by the book, Tools to Transform Your Workplace, which you can take that and transform your environment as far as where you are too. Okay, so we have to remember what's so within, so without. So how we change our heart is also how it reflects onto our divine masculine or our divine feminine. And those things, when we are, that goes to my next slide, when we remember that we must be, remember I always say in union, you have to be the person. I am union, I be union, I be the equivalent, or I be the equal of our, excuse my ebonics from this talking, but we have to remember that we have to be whatever we want. We have to be the change. We have to be the love at all times. And I said always the way of kind of thinking about that is to think about what would Jesus do. You know, when Jesus did, he didn't say for us to act like we kind. We have to be kind to our brothers. So that's something that we have to kind of keep in mind as well when we're talking about being with our twin, why we have to make the change, that we have to stop acting like it, you know, because sometimes we look at our different channels and things of that nature, and we look at all these different kind of videos, and we kind of switch in, moving towards whatever that's being shown on those different types of videos that we seen. Okay, well maybe this will work and I'll be this for a while. Okay, well maybe this will work and I'll be this for a while. I listen to Divine Sunshine and I'll be this for a while. I listen to Jupiter 11 and I'll be this for a while. And then we find ourselves constantly kind of changing, but are we really truly being our authentic selves? Are we really truly being us, who we be? Excuse my bonnets again. So in order for us to create the change, we got to create the change within ourselves. Okay. Next thing, what type of leader? So when I did my research about leadership, I seen there were two types of. Now this type of one, if you can see it, I think I might have to try this again. Let's see about what is this? No, I don't want ideas. I want to see if I could change that. It's not giving it to me for that one. Close that idea. I want the other one. When we're talking about, did I close it out? I must have. So I'm gonna have to tell you about it. So when I think about, let's see, design, home. Yeah, there we go. I didn't know that. Okay, I don't want that idea. I'm talking about this because you can't see it. Okay, anyway. So when we're talking about the different types of leadership, now there's two forms of leadership. So I'm basing this upon what in research. There's the leader that talks about leader first. Now you and I know on this twin flame journey that when we talk about the leader, to talk about it's by me, it's by my stuff, by what I want, it's how I want it. That's talking what? That's fluent karmic language. Okay. So when we talk about the leader first, that person is usually talking karmic. So they're usually like they want control of the situation, they want to make all the decisions, they want to give the orders. They want to be possessive about their role. This is me. I'm in large. I'm in charge. I'm the female. You know, I'm the queen of this castle. You got to bow down to me. So those things. And they don't like feedback. Okay. So if you're operating from that apparatus and you know yourself very well, you got to check yourself at the door and say, okay, all right, am I speaking fluent karmic right now? Now, in other types of, and when I looked at the different types of leadership, I seen they had servant first, which is called the servant or the stewardship type of leadership. The stewardship type of leadership is the one that we've been programmed as divine twins in order for us to do, which is serving first. We believe in what? That our role is to serve others and to help others. Okay, check. That's divine twins. We naturally want to help. Check. That's a divine twin. Divine unisoul. Act of stewardship. We want to serve humanity, serve man, make it a better place. Check. That's divine unisouls. And know how to step to the side and let other people who lead better, let them lead. Check. That's a divine unisoul. And then we love feedback. Okay, if it's something we're not doing right, okay, tell us, we'll fix it and tweak it. Okay, so those are the things that's right. So I looked on as far as 11 themes of servants. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of small. Okay, so these are the 11 themes. And you think about it, look this up and you can see this on the internet. The 11 themes of servants. The things are calling. We have a calling. So you can think in your mind, you can do your own checklist. Do we have a calling? Yes. We all have been called on this earth to do what? Light work or make this place a different world, or we change the idea of what love is. Yes, we have a calling. Next thing, we were here to listen. We're here to listen and seeing how we can be able to help others, how what they're saying, how we can maybe fix things. So we have to make sure that we're listening not even onto ourselves too, because we forget, we think about other people, but we got to listen to what's in our hearts and what our spirits are saying to us as well. We have to have empathy. Yes, we most definitely, in order for us to be able to be twins, we have to be able to have, or light workers, we have to be empathetic to others. We're here to heal. We're here to have awareness about what's going on, not only with ourselves, not only with our twin, but with the world that's around us. We're here to be persuasive. We're here to also have some type of foresight about what is going on in the world, about ourselves, about our twin in the world. we have to be able to conceptualize. That's why we have to use our third eye a lot of times to be able to conceive where we want to go. And then we have stewardship, which we know in order stewardship for us on this, or they talk about leadership, or us for us on this divine unisoul thing, is we're talking about serving others. That's where our light work comes in. And then we're at all times we're growing. That's another thing for servant leadership, that we're always looking for ways in which we can grow, we can adjust, we can change ourselves. And that's true when we're talking about with our twin. That's why they're here to trigger us, to make us grow, okay, as well. And then we have community building. Just like we're on these channels, we go to these different things like my channel, Jubilee 1111 channel, all these twin flame healers. We ask for you all to talk, say things down at the bottom, to kind of be able to communicate, understand that we're not by ourselves, number one. Number two, again, this is kind of lonely. You could maybe feel alone also, so you can have that connectedness and that synergy where you're feeding off of each other as well. And then you have this assisted community, because what? If you got 2 or 3 gathered in his name, you have more power and empowerment in that. We feed off of each other. So, and also with that, we help to take that vibration and send it out into the world as well, okay? One thing, again, I got from, now it comes in, what happened here? Okay, maybe it did do early. It didn't look like it wanted to change for that one. Could you see that better? Okay, it's a little bit. Okay, so now, this I got from, move this larger. Who moved my cheese? They had some, when we're talking about becoming effective leaders, we have to remember that at all times that we have to be flexible and open to change. A lot of times we don't. We like, no, it's my way. You hit the highway. This is what I see. This is what my vision about where this twin flame journey is going to go. And a lot of times that type of thinking does not work. It don't work with the divine masculine, and it don't work with the divine feminine either, because she's got a voice about some things that she wants to see happening, and see where it wants to go and what things she wants to respect. Everybody wants to respect themselves about what's in their heart and their passion and what their mission and purpose is in life as well. So that's a lot of times we have to kind of make sure that we're protecting and being honorable to our own integrity within ourselves too as leaders, okay? So either we can, like my mom said, we can agree to disagree on some things, but then still respect me as far as where I'm going. So again, like I said, we have to remember change is a part of our journey. Change is a form of our leadership. We have to also be accommodating of that, as far as even when we see those changes in our divine masculine or our divine feminine or our divine equivalents or our counterparts. So as leaders, these are some things you should think of. Change is going to happen, okay? That's the inevitable. We are creatures here as far as being human spirits, just having a human experience. We're here to evolve. We're going to have evolution all the time. Anticipate the change. Hey, it might happen one day. You and the divine masculine is getting along for, you know what I call it, the freeway of love thing. You going along, and then all of a sudden, you sing the song, we are riding on the freeway of love, and we can't stop that. Then all of a sudden he stops. He getting out. He jumping the car with the karmic, and now you just kind of sitting there like, what the what? So again, you kind of got to be able to, you're saying, okay, things might change, anticipated. I'm not thinking about Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis had said something that his mom had taught him that said always anticipate like disappointment. I don't know, some kinds of ways that sets you up for failure, but I would say this always be a realist on some things as well as too. So anticipate the change. Hey, I want things to go. I've envisioned and conceptualized this going in a certain way, but hey, things happen, okay? If you do not change, you can become extinct. That's true. If you do not change, you can become karmic, okay? So my thing is that, go on ahead and, like I said, you start finding yourself feeling karmic. I remember some of the videos they used to say that if you did not change and get with this divine journey that at some point you will find yourself going back to just being a regular Joe. I don't know. I don't know if that's so. I think that the universe is going to continuously keep on poking and prodding. It's like, okay, I might let you go for a little while right now, but then eventually you got to come back and join back on there. We're going to let you go, but then we're going to pull you back into the fold a little bit. You know, go out there and learn, but eventually, like almost like the prodigal son, you going to come back to your divinity or becoming a divine feminine or divine masculine. You're going to get back on the journey. Okay. Remember, what would you do if you weren't afraid? If you're in the leadership role again and you're on the twin flame journey, what would you do even if you were not afraid about what the divine masculine did to you in the past? What maybe things have been told to you through society, what things that your parents have taught you about relationships. You know, men gonna cheat. Hey, that's just them. That's just in their nature. Okay, so now that gonna set you up for being afraid. Like, okay, I don't know. I done seen the divine masculine did this, or I done seen the divine feminine and do this. You know, women just all they want to do is just use their body. You know, and all that. She going out there dressed all provocatively. She must be looking for somebody else. Okay, maybe not. Maybe she just want to go out there and just be sexy for herself. Sometimes ladies want to put on something that's provocative just for themselves. So, you know, now you think about it, that's what my daddy taught me. You know, she out there selling like that, then you know she giving it out there like that. Okay, so now you got all these things being programmed in your head, and now you got this fear. Okay, so if we scratch it, erase everything from the plate right there, erase the board, and we start from scratch, or we erase the plate. Now the blank, start with a blank slate. What are we working with now? Okay, so if you didn't do that, where would you be with your divine masculine? Where would you be with your divine feminine? You probably say, I'd be a little bit more along the way than I was. I am now. Yeah, we all in the same boat. Sometimes you have to check yourself on often to see if your concept beliefs are getting old. That is true, especially on this twin flame journey or anything in life that you're doing. You know, some things worked out then don't work out now. I know as a teacher. Some things that you know the whole group teaching used to work for them. It works for a little bit for a while, but then after a while, then you kind of start saying that you know what, these kids, they need that one-on-one. They need that small group instruction. You can't keep on teaching the kids like everybody, like Johnny, Sue, and Harry all think the same. You got all this. Sue now got ADHD. She can't be talked to for no long periods of time. She got to get up and walk around, go get her a drink of water, come back down, sit down. Now she ready to learn. Okay, that you can't do that. You can't have her sit there for no whole hour listening to you doing this talk. That's boring for her. And now she gonna start acting up, start throwing paper balls and all that stuff. That same thing. You gotta check your concepts as far as you is in this relationship. If you're not like seeing the divine counterpart or your divine equivalent making their way towards you, guess what? You got to take an honest introspection and saying, what am I doing that he's not drawing unto me? We're not in communication. We're not in this. Something's got to be checked at the door. I don't know what it is. You need to, well, I do know what it is. Get a reading with me, and then you'll be able to get, you'll find out what you need to work on with that. Now, also, movement in a new direction in love, go in a new direction. You need to do that. Imagine yourself in the place you want to be by enjoying the new thing even before you have it, because it leads you to it. That helps you to create change. Let go of all the stuff to let in the new. That's it. You can't keep on. I call it, and that's law of physics. You can't, two things can't occupy the same space. That's an NO. It's just not going to happen. Okay? So you got to let something go to let in. You can't think about that old love and then want the divine masculine to come in. You can't have that karmic there and you want the divine feminine to be there. You can't think about the hurt, but then you want to replace and put the divine, your divine counterpart or your divine equivalent there. Those two cannot be occupied the same space. And be ready to quickly change again and again, because sometimes, you know, you think I done changed, and like I said, we're spiritual beings having human experience. Change will come. It's inevitable. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an all over reading. It's to see what is our assignment that we need to actually work on as far as us collectively. So I'm gonna push back and now go into the reading. So those of you all that's hanging in with me, thank you. To see. Okay, so now put this up, put this up. Now let's look and see as far as what things do we need to change as being leaders now. Clear. And for our relationship with our divine counterparts, our divine equivalents. Ooh, that came right on up. Oh, wow. So this might be, and I'm going to put this since you're on here, your vibration, it's on here. So some of us got to change our finances. And some of us got to work on forgiveness. And I picked that up as I was talking as well. Don't fall on me. Okay. So what do we need to surrender in order to get that? Clear. So we got to surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Now I'm going to put this up where I can see it because I couldn't do that at the same time. Okay. All right then. Now I can, but I can't at the same time chat. So I can just see your replies. No. Okay. So yeah. So with that, you have to. I can see who is that. I had to punch again. Okay, I'm gonna call you Sha. Okay. Right. So we have to, how you doing? So we have to surrender our low self-esteem as well. Okay. You got to surrender to success. You are ready. So that goes with that finances. And you got to forgive whatever failure that you had previously too. You are ready to experience abundance. That goes in your finances. Don't look back at previous roadblocks and difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. And that's what I was talking about as far as you know, you got to change your thinking. Change, and then you might have to change again. Okay, I'm gonna go back to what it has there about the move to cheese concept. You might find yourself changing and then saying, okay, nah, I gotta rechange again. Let me leave this up here because it looked like this is what we need to be play for the current slide. We need to kind of have that. I'm gonna do it almost sideways so you can see. So you might have to change back over again. And surrender your belief in scarcity. Some of us is believing in lack. Again, going back into our old beliefs, seeing what things we need to change. The universe is asking you to open the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Okay? So these are the things that we got to work with. We got to surrender to success this week. We got to stop, change our thoughts and our patterns about the scarcity stuff. And then we got to also get rid of this low self-esteem thing. Now, divinely, I want to say, we're kind of almost saying that, but let me just see. Clear. What things are we secretly hiding as far as us getting really into our dealing with what they said we got to do in leadership? Oh, these are new ones. Naked by the stars. And forgetting oneself. I can see how that could happen also about this forgiveness. Might be some of us are putting others before us before we truly are forgiving. Yeah, forgiveness is not as easy. Amen on the finance. I'm with you on that too. That finances is no love without finance. No romance without finance. Do. I said no romance without finance. What have you done for me? So yeah, you got to do that. So now let's look at forgetting oneself. Yeah, no romance. Yeah, you ain't got the money. You sure do be acting funny. Okay, here we go. Forgetting oneself. A modern Adonis, an ancient Hermes, a grown-up Cupid shrined by laurel, mirth, and lotus. He is the welcoming allure of the present moment, the warm embrace which numbs everything else. If you let go of the pressure and of the pain, if you let go enough of your identity and of the context you live in, then you will just feel better. That goes back to that forgiveness. That goes back to the low self-esteem, that scarcity, and the surrendering to success. That goes back to that. Sometimes, however, it asks for more. It takes more out of you, more of yourself to be forgotten, to feel just a little better. And maybe the twisted idea that if you forget everything, then you will actually really feel better. That's a scary point to be. I guess that go back to the change. Forgetting everything, letting everything go, not just as a moment of rest, but as a jump in the dark. It is like vertigo. You stand on the edge of the precipice and a little part of you wants to jump, but it's just a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of uncreative selflessness. So what? Let it be and sleep soundly. So you kind of just right there, like somebody needs to come right behind you. Like I said, angels, like you jumping in that double dutch, and the angels got to come behind you. Just push your behind up in that daggone double dutch, stay you up there digging in your potatoes and saying, "I'm okay, jump, jump, jump," and you still digging in your potatoes, and then the angel just come and say, "Just throw them on in there, and then just forget it, cause you doing too much here." Okay, so just again with this, what they're saying in so many times is that, we're afraid to move, even as leaders. We're leaders of this relationship with this divine counterpart. And we got to remember at all times to just go ahead and just stop forgetting about yourself, your needs, what you want, and just go ahead, like the Nike said, and just do it. Okay? Yeah. Naked before the stars. Let's see if anybody else. Just push it. Yeah. There you go. Just push it. Okay. Next one, number 18. Naked before the stars. Okay. There is no perfection that is worth enough. There is imperfections as proud as the heavens. What do we see when we look in the mirror? Do we see something we like or something we dislike? That goes back to this, don't it? Something we care or something we are slave of. What do we compare ourselves to? The stars of media fermenting, leaking into our real life, to social models, to the beauty queens and kings of the eternal pageant, to our inner self, to the idea we had when we were younger, to the eyes of the people loving us. I wonder what feelings the words curvy, cute, chubby, fatty, rounded arouse within us. If a smile or a distaste of recognition, or does it give it a smile or distaste of recognition? The quest for beauty is not an empty quest. Even if beauty is not as deep as the ocean, still when we shine, our world becomes brighter. But we always feel naked in front of the stars. We should just learn not to blush and stand proudly. Okay, so with that goes back to this. It's like we're really truly afraid to really become vulnerable and just to really show the real true identity of whom we are at this point. And we're scared about what other people is going to identify. Being on this twin flame journey, like I had said earlier, is a one of, we're pretty much the oddballs in the room. Okay, so we're going to be pretty much different than everybody else, and a lot of times that makes us uncomfortable. A lot of times it makes us shine a light a little bit more dimmer than the rest, because we, like, some of us are trying to fit in. But the universe is pretty much saying to you all that this is not, excuse me, I have to do that tap to see if anybody's talking. This is not exactly, you know, why the universe or the source put us here is for us to fit in, is for us to become different. We're supposed to show a different way. Okay. All right. So that's what we're trying to have. So let's look at divine clear and our divine energies. What are we supposed to be working with as far as that? So let's look at the naked before the stars. Oh, there. I didn't ask the question. You just jumped out. And forgetting oneself. Ooh, I like it when it comes straight out. Okay, so grief of anger. So naked before the stars, we have to work on with this is the grief and the anger. We have to make sure that, again, when we're feeling bad about ourselves or whatever, and not want to be vulnerable or naked, that we're not acting like a little part of us is dying. We're really angry about the situation. So we've got to work on those parts as well, especially when we're trying to become vulnerable, and you know, just really be okay with the skin that we're in. Okay. And then next thing also, when we talk about forgetting oneself, we got to work with that shadow. With this card, I see here that he's got illusions going on, especially with him being the man. That means the analytical part, the divine masculine being represented. So that where we're thinking about some things, we got to kind of balance out and become one with that, how we thinking about ourselves negatively too, and emotionally. We got to find that balance between the two of those as well. Let's look at what are some ascension masters that you should be working with. I did the divine feminine, but I feel like it's probably clear a lot of divine feminines that are here. So I'm going to see what kind of energies should we be working with as far as in our leadership. Okay. The Black Madonna. Wow. I've never seen this card before. Okay, the Black Madonna, Our Lady of Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Okay, so this is what we got to be working with. So we're going to work with the Black Madonna this week as our ascension master to help us transform us, especially when we talk about these finances, the pain and suffering, because when you ain't got no money, it's a hurting thing. And the forgiveness we need to work with, the surrender to success, the surrender to low self-esteem, and the surrender to belief in scarcity. We also have to deal with working with her to help us with this pain and suffering, how to be vulnerable, how to be okay with the skin that we're in, and not forgiving ourselves, not forgetting oneself, because sometimes we might forget ourselves. I'm picking this up because of the pain and suffering. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. Okay. And then also learning how to deal with that, the pain and suffering of this grief and anger and these shadow aspects as well. Also, angelic wise, clear. What do the angels want us to work with? Ooh. Too many, just one card. I say clear. Clear. Ooh, inner child healings. Wow. So we got to work on that. Archangel Haniel, inner child healings. Did I put my clarifiers out here? No. Okay, let me clarify with this one. Can you tell me, cards, clear, how we need to work with that? Inner child healings. So I work with Archangel Haniel too. So you're working with the Ascended Master, the Black Madonna, helping her to transform your pain. And then you're also going to work with Archangel Haniel to work with these inner child healings, because some of them is affecting your finances and your forgiveness or something as well. So that's how we're going to work into getting into our leadership. Remember, we're the leaders, they're the followers, our divine counterparts. So if we're watching, you are the leader, you working with this, it's going to help them to transform their same things, because I'm sure as heck that your divine counterpart has got things with their finances. They got some issues with their forgiveness. They got some low self-esteem. Remember, they mirror what we do. They got some scarcity issues. They got some success issues. They also not comfortable with the skin they in. They also are forgetting themselves, because if they were, they won't be in those karmic situations, because they'll put themselves first, and they deal with grief and anger and a shadow aspect. So that's for sure that they deal with. We got the overall thing that we need to work with as far as the healing this inner child is the Page of Water. That's emotions. Page of Water. Okay. Open-heartedness, childlike innocence. Now you see me pull this right here. This is live. This is, I'm about to say, this live TV. This is live. They're talking about the children. So we got to come back. We got to heal that part of our inner child so we can come back to this childlike innocence and curiosity about some things. So beginning of intimacy, relationships, playfulness, cheerful optimism. And that's why we got to heal this, so we can gain this again. So I'm going to read it again. We got to get back to, we got to heal this so we can have some open-heartedness. That open-heartedness is going to open up for you for these finances, especially this forgiveness. It's going to also help into your relationship. Childlike innocence and curiosity, because some kind of way we probably have put up, let's be honest, we didn't put up some boundaries and some things up there that say, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some pimping in it. Let me go and find some other ways to deal with this. And beginning of intimacy, relationship, playfulness, and cheerful optimism. So I open my heart, fully allowing myself to feel childlike wonder and innocence. All adventures lead me where I need to go. Love awaits. Life is a delightful dance, and I am here to frolic and play. I am ready with a big smile, and I have on my dancing shoes. So we're doing this. When we do all this kind of work here, and we work with this Ascended Master, the Black Madonna, we work with Archangel Haniel with the healing of this inner child, we will be able to play, feel more lighter. We've gotten rid of some of this baggage. And I say, bag lady, you gonna miss your bus, dragging all them bags like that. So you dragging, and you can't even get on the bus to go to your point A to point B, which is your next destination. Okay, so that's an issue right there. So we want to be able to put on our big day, our dancing shoes, dance with life. That means go with the rhythm of life, go with it whatever way it flows. Like Dad says, we ain't offbeat, not on with the rhythm. That, you know, some of the reasons why we can't do it is because we got all that baggage. We can't hear it because we too closed off with what the things that we have to deal with as well. And we want to go off with this big smile, because that big smile also helps us to heal others. It brings love. Sometimes a simple smile, when somebody sees it, it just brightens up their day. And that's a way of how we can do light work as well. Okay, so this is it. This is what I had pretty much on when I was going to do the workshop. It's going to be an hour anyway. The next thing is, the next series will be trust, and how that also plays a part in your leadership role as far as you're leading your divine masculine and your divine feminine in the relationship. So I'm gonna do a next one on there. I'll try to also put down there so you can take the assessment. Love you too. You can do the assessment. Try to do that. I know it's 100 questions on there, but it really gives you an eye opener and say, oh my God, I'm deficient in that. I did not know I got these issues like that. So I will try to put that down there as far as the assessment. I'm going to also send you assessment on the trust issues too, because you see how much of that part of a role that it plays as well, as far as you getting into union too in your leadership. And then I'll go into next week. I'll open it up until I'll take individual readings. So make sure you come on there. I'm trying to see about this time. Will it be, because most time I said at 11, but I see that I'm also competing. Hey, I'm also competing with, if I'm doing it this way, I don't want to compete with Jupiter 11's time, because she pops on around, I think, about 11 or something. So I got to figure something out as far as what time that will suit me, because sometimes I'm out and about. So maybe I'll try to see if I can put up a notification let you know, hey, I'm gonna look at the community tab. I'm about to go live with that. Um, yeah, because I came on at one. This ain't gonna always happen. With this one, that's because I tried, it didn't work with that one. So, in part, don't forget, I got my specials going. 15. If you like this, and you say, oh, yeah, I like this. I want to know what I need to do for leadership. Go on my website, divineunisols11.com. Uh, Yeah, those energies is kind of pretty much doing that now. I mean, I done had stuff with the divine masculine. I said I could have sworn I got over this, and where in the hell is this coming from all over again? And it's just been this, it's just these energies. We're gonna feel it for the next 6 weeks. It's really trying to purge and get that stuff out. Between that, my dad, all that stuff. Yeah, I know. Today, I think I had one. I had one of them days. What was it? Was it Thursday? Yeah, the energies don't feel bad. Everybody's feeling that way, feeling kind of sluggish. Don't I mean really truly don't. That's this how the energies this going now. What day was that? Was that Thursday? No, it's 4th of July. Yeah, I remember it was because my mom had to come and sit by my side. And I was just like, I just came. She's like, come on, come on. And I could feel my dad's spirit even being there. It's like, this is why I didn't want to leave, because I knew she was going to be like this. And she got too much stuff she got to do. And I want her to still continue to be the beautiful spirit that she is. So I know that. But, it was just purging all that stuff. I just didn't feel like it. I was feeling like Tony Braxton. To my breathe again, breathe again. Oh, I shall never breathe again. I was just, oh my God, it was just horrible. So do not feel, I said love and light to you, not to say that, it's okay. But I'm just saying we in the struggle together. We all having this thing that's going on. It's just purging. They said July was going to be rough, and we kind of seeing that a little bit, that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to do the energies next after this, and kind of see what the energies is going on for the collective. So kind of view and look at that. Yeah, no, you're not by yourself. You're really not. You're really, really not. So we together, sisters in the struggle. Oh man, because it was everything. I had to watch myself, because I sure was about to go speaking fluent karmic to my divine masculine, to everybody. I said, I'm doing no. Him and I done came a little too far now, so some gonna have to be checked at the door, and I had to check that real quick. They said we ain't gonna go back to speaking fluent karmic with him. No, we ain't doing that gobble mess. That's out the door. That we ain't doing that at all. So, like I said, next time we're gonna do trust issues will be the next one. So I talked about my special $15. I don't have to go to my random rave about this. Just try to check and see about when I'm gonna do next for the series, which will be trust issues in relationships. Okay. Hey, Brown. Hey, Brownie, what's happening? So we will do that on the next one. The next series. Okay. Hey, mwah. Okay, so on the next series, I'm trying to see why I'm staying live. Should I even stay live on the next one? Okay, so I'm going to sign off on this one because it's long. Y'all can't, attention span, y'all bad as my daggone kids. They're like, hour, I could do an hour. Don't have me do no damn 2 hours with you. That ain't going to work, Miss B. I said, okay. So that was, so see me on the next one. I might keep it flowing on the next one. I'll sign back on again, but we're going to cut off on this one so I can start my next one. I'll do that live about what's the energies. Love you too. Love you too, Miss D. All right there. So until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. Namaste.